way of the advancing Taliban.
Another grave concern that Afghanistan will once again become a safe haven for terrorists. Nearly 1,300 killed, nearly 6,000 injured. That's the situation in Haiti following the weekend's 7.2 magnitude earthquake. Mark Donald and his family have been using their own personal van as an ambulance to help rescue people.
The hospital has been really packed, and we've been taking people from there.
And another former Steeler, Joe Moore, who coached at Pitt, Notre Dame, and the Steelers, died of lung cancer. Mr. Moore was 71. And another one. At PNC Park Sunday afternoon, the visiting Milwaukee Brewers edge the Pirates 2-1. The Pirates fall to 42-76. And the Pirates are back in action tonight when they visit the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, after playing 2 preseason games on the road, the Pittsburgh Steelers will finally host a game at Heinz Field. Saturday night, the team will host Detroit. And another former Steelers assistant coach, Joe Walton, passed over the weekend. Mr. Walton was 85. Are you sitting down for this story? A piece of cardboard just sold for $6.6 million. It's a Honus Wagner card. That's a record, by the way, for a baseball card. The legendary Pirate shortstop played his last game in 1917. This card is 110 years old. Think about that. A piece of cardboard, $6.6 million. By the way, coming up in the 12 o'clock hour, we'll hear from Pirate announcer John Wayner. That's coming up on the Variety Show in the 12 o'clock hour. I'm Bill DeFabio, and we are the Watchdog. One.
Such a transition in Afghanistan has long been a
News Network. Police in Columbus say a young girl drowned yesterday afternoon in a pond at an apartment complex. Richard Solomon with ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus has more.
Columbus police say a 9-year-old girl died after she was pulled from a pond. They say she wandered from home and was reported missing. Cindy Winterbauer told me she and her granddaughter were taking the dog for a walk. That's where they found the little girl.
I was hoping it really wasn't her. And it's just, your body just goes instantly numb.
The little girl was taken to Nationwide Children's Hospital where she died. Richard Solomon reporting in Columbus.
A proposal in the Ohio Senate would eliminate the requirement for a concealed weapons permit and end the requirement that individuals promptly inform police officers that they're carrying a concealed weapon.
The legislation is sponsored by State Senator Terry Johnson, a Republican from Scioto County in southern Ohio. The legislation would make a concealed carry license optional. The legislation has the backing of the Buckeye Firearms Association, which says 21 other states allow people to carry a concealed weapon without a license. The statewide chapter of the Fraternal Order of Police opposes it. Daniel Barnett, ONN News.
Ohioans vacationing in the Florida Panhandle may be dodging a tropical storm today. Fred is expected to come ashore late this afternoon or evening with winds of at least 60 miles per hour. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly, here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out an adventure-ready gas model RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or a stylish 22 Corolla with up to $500 cash back, or go with a sporty Camry with up to $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com and find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply to a down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end September 7th. Toyota, let's go places.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Staying connected is important in today's world. Whether it's hearing the news of a new baby in the family or calling work to let your boss know you're running late, phone and internet service keep you connected with your world. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having a phone or internet service. In certain areas, you may be able to reduce your phone or internet bill with a Lifeline discount if you are in a qualifying low-income household. Additional discounts of up to $25 may be available to those living on federally recognized tribal lands where AT&T offers Lifeline. To find out more about Lifeline and other AT&T products and services, call us at 800-288-2020 or go to att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to 1 discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your start to the work week, mix of sun and clouds with scattered showers and storms possibly. A daytime high near 75. Scattered showers through the evening, the overnight. Temperatures down to about 68 for the low. Chance for showers and storms for your Tuesday. Otherwise, times of clouds and sunshine with temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
I'm not a Monday guy.
I'm not crazy about them either. I also don't like Tuesdays, Wednesdays, or Thursdays.
Are you ready to go? I'm warning you, I'm seriously stressed out here.
You always drink like this so early in the morning?
Isn't it a bit early in the day for the bottle? Even for you?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
Make the radio call.
It's time to get up.
It's time to hear that pop.
It's taking self-destruct in 5 seconds.
We are go for launch.
Conversations you care about from people you know. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, celebrating the 100 days of summer.
Good morning, and welcome to Monday, a beautiful Monday morning. Well, I don't know if beautiful is the right word to use or not. It is a rainy Monday morning, at least here at my home studios it is. We are looking at another rainy week. All week long it's going to be rainy. Chances of rain almost every single day. A muggy week is going to be in store. Good news is not quite as warm as it was last week, not that blazing hot temperature. We're looking for temps around 76, for example, today. Right now, 67, partly cloudy at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. 67, some light rain coming down here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. And 67 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. 7:11 on the Watchdog Morning Show, and we are up and running on this rainy day and Monday. Coming up today, got a busy one. Going to do a little light stuff here at the front end of the show. Then we're going to dig into some serious stuff today. As ABC News was just reporting, the Afghan president has fled the country. Taliban seems to be in control of Afghanistan. The U.S. scrambling to evacuate Americans from the country. Former Congressman Bob Ney was in Congress when we began the Afghanistan incursion. He was one of the founders of the Afghanistan caucus. Bob had been in Afghanistan several times. He's going to offer his assessment today on the current situation for the United States. COVID cases are rising. Ohio County saw an over 65% increase in this past week, almost 100% increase from the week before that. The Delta, the Gamma, the Alpha viruses or variants are all in Ohio County. Health Administrator Howard Gamble coming in with us to talk about the numbers. What does it mean? Booster shots, who can get them, and back to school recommendations. That's coming up a bit later on. Redistricting forums are continuing across West Virginia in preparation for major shifts in the drawing of districts. Ohio County Delegate Sean Fluharty's next race, in fact, may very well be affected by the redistricting, and Sean serves on the redistricting committee. He's going to join us later on today to talk about this redistricting effort, what's actually being done, what the implications can be. Plus, we'll talk about renting new clothes, new Dr. Pepper flavor, and packed lunches for kiddies as you start heading back to school. All of this coming up today here on the Watchdog Morning Show. If you have something on your mind that you want to talk about, and I'm not talking about or haven't brought it up yet, you're welcome to text me, 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, or if you have something on your noggin you want to noodle around and I didn't mention it, you want to make sure I kind of get it into the agenda today, again, use the text line, 304-214-1600. The CityNet hotline also open, available for you, 304-232-8255 on this a little bit rainy Monday morning as we get things underway. Working behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, and doing his best to try to control me, usually failing because I can't be controlled, is Brother Biff. Good morning, Biff.
Good morning, Howard.
Weekend good, I hope?
Yeah, it was spent down here.
Oh, you worked all weekend?
No, the Blues Fest.
Oh, down here as in downtown, not down here as in the radio station.
Well, that too, but I mean, yeah, it was the...
Yeah. No, I got you. How was the Blues Fest? I didn't get down.
It was good. Didn't go Friday because with the storms that were approaching, and they had a little bit of a delay Friday night. Once the storms hit, took a little rain delay until about 9 o'clock, a little after, and then got back and finished Friday night. The house shook Friday night because the saw the lightning and then thunder, and sounded like it was across the street. I actually thought the neighbor's house got hit, but it didn't. So I don't know if it hit something in town or what, but it was close enough to where it rattled the house. So that was Friday night. So just kind of took it easy Friday night and stayed in, and then was down Saturday and Sunday, and some good music. Yesterday was good. I think I liked all the acts that were Sunday, and then Saturday was the same. I mean, just a lot of good music and different types of blues music being played, and it was a good time.
I need to apologize to Bruce Wheeler because I just forgot that it was coming up this past weekend, and I think I mentioned this on the air. It suddenly hit me like on Thursday. My heavens, I haven't had Bruce in to talk about the show. I gave him a quick text on Thursday night, but he was too busy on Friday to come in, help promote it. But I feel bad. I saw a lot of Facebook postings. People said some of the best performers they think they've ever had there performed this weekend at the Blues Fest. So it sounds like they had a pretty good lineup, and I hope they had a pretty good crowd. Was there a reasonable number of people there when you were around?
Oh yeah. I mean, a good crowd on Saturday, and then I think for a variety of reasons, and I don't know what it is about Sunday, but it seems like any festival on a Sunday is kind of sparse, if you can say so. But no, when I was there, I mean, it was good crowds both days.
Well, hope it was a good event. It was the 20th anniversary, right?
Yes, it was.
Man, it's hard to believe. Again, I've reached that point where so many of the long time events in the Upper Ohio Valley are events that I remember the first one. And boy, Bruce really stuck it out all those years. And the first few years were just financially difficult. I mean, but he stuck it out, and year number 20 now in history books. So hopefully it was a good one. I'm glad that it sounded good from what I hear from you, Biff, and what I heard on Facebook and other social media as well. 7:18 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. As I said, we got a lot of real serious stuff to get to. So, Biffy, let's do a starter block segment here, just some of the lighter things I want to get into as we begin the show. I've got a few lighter things in life I want to talk about on here and our starter block.
The most interesting stories aren't always on the front page. Here are some stories in our starter block on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Now, I often talk, Biff, about strange trends in fashion. God knows, look at me if you're watching the video feed. I'm not fashionable. I'm just me. I gave up even the pretense of being fashionable a long time ago. I just do what I am. But sometimes these clothing trends absolutely fascinate me. Apparently there is a new trend going on, Biff, and Washington State University has done a little study on this to see if it isn't true. People are beginning to. Well, let me begin by asking you this. You have any clothes in your closet that, maybe are too big for you, too small for you, that you don't wear anymore?
Yeah, I think we all have them.
Yeah, we all have them. My cupboard is full of clothes that are just, well, frankly, they're just too small. I'll never be able to wear them again. Sometimes I get energetic and realistic, and I say, oh, we got to just take these to Goodwill, throw them away, whatever. Sometimes I say, oh, no, I'll fit back into those someday. Like I think I actually could. But apparently, Biffy, Gen Z, I don't even know if the Gen Z, once you get past the baby boomers, who are the Gen X and the Gen Y and I don't even know what they are. But apparently the Gen Zers don't throw away their clothes. They don't take them to Goodwill either when they no longer fit. You know what they do?
What's that?
They rent them. They rent their clothes out. So other people will say, and I don't even, cause since I don't know what fashions are, I can't even ask, I can't even give you an example. Excuse me, I need some bell-bottom pants. Well, that's from like the 70s. Excuse me, I need some bell-bottom pants. Yes, I do. Would you like to rent them for 25 cents a day or $25 a day or whatever? The Gen Zers say it's not about the money they get. It's about sustainability. They don't want to throw them away. They tend to take care of their clothes a little bit better. They care more about recycling, and so they're offering to rent their clothes to people instead of throwing them away. I might suggest just take them to one of the places that will sell them or use them for people who need them, Renting your clothes? I'm sorry. That's a trend that just doesn't make any sense to me. Last week, we talked about a new flavor of Mountain Dew, the Boozy Dew. Mountain Dew is going to come up with a non-sugar, non-caloric, I guess it was, booze-infused Mountain Dew drink. I don't know why, but they seem to think it's a good idea. This morning, it's Dr. Pepper. No, not booze. It's going to be a chocolate-flavored version of Dr. Pepper. What do you think, Biff?
I might try it, but just from the sound of it, it doesn't sound too good. But I would at least give it a shot.
Yeah, I guess I'm with you. I would be willing to try it. Dr. Pepper has its own unique flavor, and I like the flavor of Dr. Pepper. I'm not drinking one this morning, but oftentimes here on the morning show, I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper. And the flavor is so unique that even the diet version of Dr. Pepper tastes like Dr. Pepper. I think we do have some Dr. Pepper cherry here in the house. It's going to be called Dr. Pepper Fantastic Chocolate. Chocolate, Doctor. If you want chocolate, get a Yoo-Hoo. That's why I look at it.
Yeah.
Just get if you want a chocolate soda, get a Yoo-Hoo. Do they still sell Yoo-Hoos?
Yeah, I think some places still do. Actually, I think all the Hoagie King.
Oh, okay.
I think they have Yoo-Hoo.
Down in South Wheeling?
Yeah.
I'm not big on chocolate flavored soda, but if you're going to have one, there's Yoo-Hoo. It's the quintessential chocolate flavored drink. So if you're going to go for that, go for Yoo-Hoo. So I thought I would share that with you this morning. We've got a chocolate flavored Dr. Pepper coming. Now, Biff, kids are going back to school. I'm kind of sad about that. I think I've got just a few more days here with Teddy coming to the house every day, and then he'll be heading off to school, and we'll be picking him up in the afternoon and with him in the late afternoon. But it's been fun having grandson Teddy here all day long, most of the day. He had camp a couple of weeks during the summer, but the last few weeks he's been here with us. As soon as I get off the air, he opens that door and looks at me and says, "Granddad, are you done on the radio?" "Yes, I am. We will now play." And then the playing begins. We play hide and seek, and we play video games, and we play things that I never heard of before, like Among Us and different things like that. So I've had just great fun the last couple of weeks. All day long it's playing with Teddy, and I get a great kick out of that. He'll be heading back to school soon, as will so many children. Well, I guess I should put in there, we hope, given the COVID situation, we hope they'll all be heading back to school soon. Anyway, with the school starting back up, it'll mean packing lunches for parents and sending them off to their kids' school once again. And so I have a new poll here taking a look at the most common things that kids do not eat in their lunch. When Teddy gets into the car after we pick him up at school, I always say, "Did you eat lunch? Did you eat your lunch today?" And it's yes or no. And, what did you eat? "Oh, I ate my peanut butter and jelly sandwich," or whatever. But what do kids not eat that mom and dad pack for their lunches? Want to guess what the number one thing the kids don't bother to eat when their parents pack it is, Biff?
Fruit.
Fruit's number 2. And fruit's good cousin, which is vegetables.
Oh, yeah.
Is number 1. 83% of the parents surveyed say they make sure there are vegetables in their kids' packed lunch. And it's the number one thing that the kids just don't eat. Now, Teddy likes to eat some vegetables. I mean, he does eat them, but the number one thing that parents pack kids don't eat, vegetables. Number two, you hit it, Biffy, fruit.
I guess I never really thought of parents packing vegetables in lunches because it was always fruit with us. It was either it was a variety. It was either bananas, grapes, apples. I think oranges maybe because those were basically the ones that I liked. So yeah, it was always fruit for us. I don't think we ever had vegetables in our school lunches, but it was just fruit.
And Teddy, all the fruit you just mentioned, Teddy loves fruit. I mean, he'll go through apples multiple apples a day here. He likes oranges. He likes grapes. In fact, sometimes he gets angry. Grandma, you have any grapes? No, Teddy, I don't. Get some. he likes to eat them. So he doesn't leave the fruit behind very often. So the number one thing kids leave behind in their packed lunch is vegetables. Number two is fruit. Number three, and I have noticed this with Teddy, and I'm not quite sure why, the main part of their meal. And by that I mean, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatever it is that the parents have packed that's supposed to be the meal. That's the number three thing that kids don't eat in their lunch. And I don't know why. Well, it may be they're eating the junk. I don't know. That's the other option. Oh, you pack some candy? Did you, Mom? Okay, I'll eat the candy. And I don't want my sandwich. Salty snacks and sweet snacks round out the top five. These are things the kids leave behind in their packed lunch. Paul also found that parents spend an average of $390 extra on groceries per child during the school year. So, if you're heading back to school, little things to think about. And then you got to figure out, no parent wants to force their kids to eat something, of course, and no parent wants to have their kids not eat their fruits, their vegetables, or whatever. So you got to figure out as a parent, how do you convince them to try those things instead of leaving them behind? Did you trade lunches when you were pack lunch at school, Biffy?
Well, yeah.
You'd have an apple and somebody else would have an orange or something, or you'd trade your peanut butter and jelly for a bologna sandwich, something like that.
Yeah, although with us, it wasn't, I don't think we traded sandwiches too often. It was always what snack it was either cookies or snacks that you would trade. And there was a group of us, we'd sit down and, we'd all have our spot at the lunch table and, you'd get in your lunch and you'd say, hey, what do you have? And you'd look and then the trading would begin. And sometimes it would get intense depending on what snacks or cookies you had in the lunches.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. All right, just a few odds and ends I thought were fun to start the morning off with here on this rainy Monday morning. A lot of super serious stuff to get to. Afghanistan and COVID and Western politics, all of that is coming up. I have one passing of a well-known politician I want to share with you in a minute or two, and a few other quickie odds and ends in just a second. But first, let's take care of some business here. 7:28 in the morning, 67 degrees.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the watch.
Retailers, please don't drink and drive and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants. Save big money with 11% off everything now at Menards, your home improvement store. The 6-inch new construction recessed housing makes installing recessed lights safe and simple. It features airtight construction with built-in push-in connectors for easy wiring. All Lithonia lighting, utility, recessed housings, and trims are 11% off now at Menards. Good through August 21st. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
West Virginia Outdoors is the Mountain State's only hook and bullet radio show, dedicated to the more than 250,000 hunters and anglers across the state. Award-winning host Chris Lawrence has been tracking down hunting and fishing stories for more than 25 years.
Went in behind a little birch tree at its head. I reached down and got the bow positioned and found its horns and dropped down and shot it in the neck.
Whether it's hunting and fishing news,
it tracks real super well, but not with a 60-pound carp tied to the side.
Or just compelling stories about the enjoyment of the great outdoors.
How close did you let him get in before you let fly on him?
He was about 18 yards, Chris. He got turned in the right angle there, and I touched off the trigger, and when I hit him, he ran kind of up the hill, which scared me at first.
West Virginia Outdoors covers it all, Saturday mornings at 7:06 a.m. And for your daily fix, Outdoors Today brings you 2.5 minutes of news and notes from the woods and water every weekday morning. No one covers the great outdoors like Chris Lawrence. And Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
67 degrees, light rain around the valley this morning, 7:32, 28 till the hour. A quick condolences here. Biffy, you may be too young to remember. Do you remember Doug Applegate when he was the congressman from Ohio?
Doesn't sound familiar to me.
He was the congressman right before Bob Ney. He was a longtime congressman. He had been in office, I think, 18 years, something like that. I found him to be a really good guy. He came from Steubenville. He was a Democrat. Served, I think, 18 years in Congress. Also had been a member of the House of Representatives, a member of the State House for a while. And he was what at the time was called the 18th Congressional District, which is what Bob Ney first represented until they redistricted it into something else. But Doug Applegate died at the age of 93 over the weekend. He was, I really, really got along well with him. He was a good source. He always returned my calls. We always had good conversation. He never tried to dodge a subject or a story. And he was a truly good guy. It's back in the days when Congress, I think, was calmer, nicer, and more polite, as opposed to being superly political. Doug was clearly a Democrat and presented Democrat principles in his work, but the fighting that we see so often now wasn't around back then. He left the office in 1995. Died this weekend at his home in Florida at the age of 93. And I just wanted to offer, I wanted to pass that along for those who may not have heard about it yet, and offer condolences to Doug Applegate's family and friends. He was I thought, a tremendously good congressman, very good to me, and may he rest in peace. All right, we're going to talk about Afghanistan, and we're going to talk about COVID. But before we do all of that, we're going to talk about the weather. Zach will have that for us coming up after we check into Ohio Valley headlines and sports right now from WTRF TV and Bill DeFabio.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's
paving project has greatly improved conditions in one local city. On any given day, as many as 100 trucks make their way through the city of Benwood. Over the years, the access road to the park has greatly deteriorated. The road was recently paved, putting an end to hardship situation for the city and its residents. Moving up north, motivational speaker Bobby Petrocelli is sharing his story in Brooke County. Families and community members will have the opportunity to meet and listen to Petrocelli. Tonight at 6, students that are interested will get their chance tomorrow morning at 8:30. Both events take place in the auditorium at Brooke High. Yesterday was a special day for West Virginia women in agriculture. A number of female farmers were honored at the state fair, including Katie Fitzsimmons. The Marshall County native has spent the last 18 years working with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. She's also busy on her family farm, Hazel Dell, raising commercial beef. That was a look at your headlines. Have a great day and have an even better week, everyone.
Milwaukee Brewers edge the Pirates 2-1. The Pirates fall to 42-76, and the Pirates are back in action tonight when they visit the Los Angeles Dodgers. Well, after playing 2 preseason games on the road, the Pittsburgh Steelers will finally host a game at Heinz Field. Saturday night, the team will host Detroit. And another former Steelers assistant coach, Joe Walton, passed over the weekend. Mr. Walton was 85. Are you sitting down for this story? A piece of cardboard just sold for $6.6 million. It's a Honus Wagner card. That's a record, by the way, for a baseball card. The legendary Pirate shortstop played his last game in 1917. This card is 110 years old. Think about that. A piece of cardboard, $6.6 million. By the way, coming up in the 12 o'clock hour, we'll hear from Pirate announcer John Wayner. That's coming up on the Variety Show in the 12 o'clock hour. I'm Bill DeFabio, and we are the Watchdog.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now with savings and reliability you can count on. So check out an adventure-ready gas model RAV4 with up to $750 cash back, or a stylish 22 Corolla with up to $500 cash back, or go with a sporty Camry with up to $1,000 cash back. Visit buyatoyota.com and find a dealer near you. You can take cash back or apply to a down payment. Offers may vary for hybrid models. See your dealer for details. Offers end September 7th. Toyota, let's go places.
Staying connected is important in today's world. Whether it's hearing the news of a new baby in the family or calling work to let your boss know you're running late, phone and internet service keep you connected with your world. At AT&T, we know that some Americans face life every day without the comfort and security of having a phone or internet service. In certain areas, you may be able to reduce your phone or internet bill with a Lifeline discount if you are in a qualifying low-income household. Additional discounts of up to $25 may be available to those living on federally recognized tribal lands where AT&T offers Lifeline. To find out more about Lifeline and other AT&T products and services, call us at 800-288-2020 or go to att.com/lifeline if you have access to the internet.
Lifeline is a government benefit program, and willfully making false statements to obtain this benefit is punishable by fine or imprisonment and could result in termination of Lifeline service. Lifeline enrollment requires certain eligibility documentation and is non-transferable. Limited to 1 discount per household. AT&T services, including Lifeline, are not available in all areas. Other restrictions apply.
Hey there, Dave Weekley here. Metro News Hotline presents what's trending in sports, music, movies, tech, television, and more from a Mountain State point of view. Renowned local and national guests pepper the daily lineup with authoritative insights and commentary on a wide variety of topics from West Virginia high school sports to the financial markets. Join the fun. Every day, Coop and I dip into irreverent discussions with calls, texts, tweets, the question of the day, and the always popular In or Out. Metro News Hotline, weekday afternoons from 3 until 5 on the Watchdog, WKKX and WVLY.
The Watchdog prides itself in being involved in our community, and we want to hear from you. Does your organization have an event that you would like promoted on the radio? Please send us the details via our website, watchdognetwork.com. Just click on our contact page and fill the information. Live, local, and here for our community. Share your events with the Watchdog.
As county school systems in West Virginia return to the classrooms, athletes will be returning to the field. And once again, Metro News will be there to keep you informed. Fred Persinger, Dave Jecklin, and Joe Bricato are geared up and ready for another exciting season of the High School Sports Line. Get the latest scores and news along with player and coach interviews. Wednesday nights at 7:06. The High School Sports Line starts August 25th on this Metro News station and online at wvmetronews.com.
If you miss a part of the show or want to listen again, you can find conversations, interviews, and rants on our podcasts at Apple Podcasts or on watchdognetwork.com. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Yeah, the Carpenters sang about it, rainy days and Mondays, a long time ago, and I guess that's kind of the way it's going to be today, a rainy day and a Monday. 67 and partly cloudy right now at the airport, 67 light rain already here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 67 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Zach is with us from the Big 7 to talk about what we can expect today and for this week. Good morning, Zach.
Hey, good Monday morning, Howard. How are you today?
I'm feeling like this is going to be a sit in the house and read kind of day.
Well, you might want to get used to that. Pick up your favorite book and have at it, because you're going to be doing a lot of inside time this week just because we have a pretty stagnant upper level air system that's going to continue to produce rain chances and rain showers today, Tuesday, Wednesday, up until about Sunday. I have chances for rain in the next 7 days, unfortunately.
Is it going to be today? It looks like it's going to be pretty continuous, or at least it'll be far and away the dominant factor. Is it going to be rain all day, most days this week, or is it on and off throughout the week?
Yeah, if the common theme, it would be looks like a decent bit of rain. None of the days will be complete washouts. I do expect to see some pockets of dry weather, but it's not like, oh, the sun's going to be out and we can go outside and go for a walk in the park. I mean, you can do so still, but you'll still probably want to carry the umbrella along. I do expect it to be sort of off and on sort of event, kind of what we have similar right now. I got rain showers moving into the immediate Marshall and Ohio County right now. Most of Guernsey, Muskingum, Noble County, it's pretty much a decent, it's not a heavy rain. It's just this light, fine mist, very light rain, but it's going to continue on for most of this morning. There could be some periods where it's a bit heavier or a harder rain, but it's not going to be anything that should produce flash flooding or a gully washer, to say the least. Just a constant rain, kind of something similar that we needed last year in July 2020. And I don't think we needed a whole lot anymore, especially for us possibly seeing similar conditions for the next 7 days.
But for some kids, this will be their last week off school before they head back next week, and it's not going to be the world's best week to get that one last great week of summer in, that one last great week at the pool, or one last great week outside playing in the sunshine. It's going to be a rainy week much of the week.
Maybe they'll be doing a lot of late-night gaming on the video game systems then.
That could be. It's very light rain here at my home studios, but it is light rain outside right now. So, and 67 is what I'm looking at for the temperature off the rain gauge here at the house. So, or not the rain gauge, but the thermometer here at the house. So, all right. Hey, I got to ask you a question. Did you hear, or did you get reports of this gigantic thunder boom that we had? I guess it was Friday night during the big storm.
Yeah, I think Brother Biff was actually saying he was actually over at his dad's house, and he says that, there was a bolt of lightning and clap of thunder that was rather close, if not downright overhead, and said he wouldn't have been surprised if it hit in the city area, but that's about the extent that I've immediately heard about it, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, well, it happened. I mean, it must have, I don't know what it was. It was here at the house on, I guess it was Friday night, and we had a good storm coming down. And, I mean, it literally shook the windows. It shook the windows. It sounded like it was hitting right outside my house. Social media was full of folks, just all literally from Woodsdale out the Pike into Elm Groves, other areas of the city, all said the same thing. They heard and felt the same thing, shaking the windows. I don't know what it was. It was just a big boom of thunder or something. I thought maybe you had heard more about it. A couple people noted that there was no report about it on TV. I said, well, of course, if somebody doesn't necessarily call in and say something seems strange about it, maybe you didn't notice it. But so you didn't really hear anything about any unusually loud thunderclap that would have rolled through the whole city on Friday, huh?
No, the only thing that, again, off the top, I didn't see anything unusual whenever I went through the National Weather Service logs on Saturday morning, because, of course, whenever you sleep in until 5 o'clock, you have some time to kill till everyone in your family decides to wake up. Since I was at home this weekend, replacing the blower. I have a funny story, but I'll finish this. A funny story about my dad and I doing that blower. I'll tell you that in a second. But nothing out of the ordinary, but just based off of what you said and what you heard and saw on social media, it could have been what we call a downdraft, which is just essentially a sudden rush of cold air from a thunderstorm, which, again, those thunderstorms were rolling through. And typically in those downbursts or the downdrafts, with that sudden rush of air, you have a very sharp or very fast change of pressure. So there could have been instances of the thunder reported, but it could have also just been a big surge of air that rushed down. And then you typically do have a lot of friction with hailstones and everything forming, so the lightning ensued thereafter. So that would be my initial prognostic diagnosis as to what happened Friday night. But again, I didn't look too heavily or too much into anything. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary from what I saw.
I'm looking at some of these Facebook postings. My house, not me, but this is someone posted. My house, another house in Edgerton Lane shook. Loud at Welty Village. Felt it here in Bethlehem, Linwood Avenue. The Blues Fest, felt it down here. Again, seems like it was, whatever it was felt throughout much of the city. And boy, it just, I went to the window thinking that like maybe the tree in the front yard had fallen down or something. It was just a big boom, and I guess it was accompanied by lightning, but the sound was so loud I didn't pay that much attention to the lightning. Anyway, I just wondered if you had any follow up on that, so I thought I would ask you. That's the way I find out things.
The downburst or the downdraft, the sudden rush of cold air would have been my big thing, because it's a big change in barometric pressure from the cell of the thunderstorm, and that typically has a decent bit of thunder because it's a sudden rush of air moving around and a lot of friction, and big thing of thunder that's typical with your downburst. So that would be again my initial thing. I can try to look into it. The radar data isn't the best couple of days out, so I'll do my research and maybe get back to you on Facebook later today if I have some time to do so.
Okay, just curious, because a lot of people seem to have noticed it, and I thought I would, a little unusual weather thing. I was thinking I would ask you. So tell me about your you and your dad did some work this weekend. You were changing. What were you doing?
We were changing the blower in my car because my air conditioner wasn't working whenever we had that high heat on Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, my AC wasn't working.
Delightful.
So, go ahead.
I said delightful. That's all.
Oh yeah, it was a real pain in the neck. But I'll just frame the situation like this, Howard. My dad and I were about the same size. We're about 6 foot. We have wingspan that is about, 72 inches, I think. My dad and I, we measured our wingspan, so just about 6 feet as well for our wingspan. And you have two taller guys with long, not stubby, but just long, big hands trying to unscrew itty-bitty screws in the cabin right in the passenger side. You take out the glove box, and you're trying to wrench your way around and turn yourself upside down and right side forward, just trying to unscrew a bunch of little itty-bitty screws to drop out a grapefruit-sized blower outside of a car. You can now further imagine how frustrated it was whenever we figured out there was a few more screws that needed to be loosened compared to what we could initially see, again, just based off of our size.
There is always a few more screws. Just when you think you're done, I don't care what the project is, there's always a few more screws.
The hidden ones too. They get you, and they really make you upset. And there's a lot of banter that would go back and forth and ensue, and further moments.
Banter, is that what you call it? Banter? You call it banter? Is that the phrase you use for it?
That's probably the cleanest and least colorful way to say it, right?
I gotcha. Okay.
Did
you get it changed?
Too many details. What's that?
Did you get it changed?
We did, and luckily it's back to normal and working, even though it took us about an hour and a half, but oh my goodness, it was a headache and a half.
Well, it's a good father-son bonding experience,
Oh yeah, it's plenty good for that, but definitely some heated moments when I'm doing this and Dad's in the back telling, no, you got to do this. I'm like, can you see this? And both our heads are trying to get into that small window. Oh, it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
I can picture it pretty easily, can't you, Biff?
Oh yeah, I mean, and I think it's that way with fathers and sons when they work on different things. You think you know it, and eventually the bad part is at the end when you have to admit that Dad was right. That's the worst part.
I would agree.
They had a TV show named that Father Knows Best, so we all should remember that.
That's true.
But you got it fixed, and now of course it's not going to be so hot. Now, you got your air conditioner fixed, and now we're going to be in about average temperatures for the rest of this week, right?
Yeah, upper 70s, low 80s for our highs. Slightly below, right around average late week, but still staying rather muggy as we head further along. So no fun weather around the Ohio Valley.
Well, maybe you will at least be prepared for the next time we hit 99 degrees.
Yes.
All right, Zach, good talking to you. Thanks for your help. If you find anything about that Friday night kaboom, let us know, because a lot of folks are curious about that. And
absolutely,
we'll talk to you tomorrow on what apparently is going to be yet another rainy day.
Yep, rinse and repeat this week, Howard. That's what we'll say.
All right. Thanks a lot, Zach. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
From
we'll
the Big
see you guys.
7, WTRF TV, Zach Petty is with us here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Every morning around this time, we get you the forecast, little chat and chatter as well. Yeah, Biff, the social media was really full of people who heard, and you mentioned at the very top of the show, this loud boom. Everybody assumed it was thunder. I guess it was thunder during this big storm on Friday night. But from social media reports, it was literally heard and seen and felt throughout the entire Wheeling area. I mean, I know it literally, I was literally afraid the windows were going to break. It was so, the windows shook so much when that big boom came by.
It was loud, and like I said, I mean, Dad got up and looked out the window to make sure it wasn't the neighbor's house across the street, because that's how close, I mean, it sounded. And then I thought, well, because I knew it was raining in town, and I thought, well, maybe it's in town. And then I'm thinking, man, I hope it didn't hit anywhere near the Blues Fest or anything like that. But just to hear it that close, it was, because that doesn't happen too often. The only time the rattles window is when some idiot is driving down the street that's got the sound system that's going like crazy and it rattles the windows. Other than that, there's not too many times that it does that, and it made you jump, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it rattled the windows. I literally went to the door and looked outside. We have a big tree in our front yard, and I thought, oh my God, did it go down? I mean, I didn't know what it was, but it was just, and then I saw on social media people, Woodsdale, Edgewood, Bethlehem, Elm Grove, all felt and saw and heard the same thing. So whatever it was a doozy. And if it was just a thunderclap, it literally cut. And it went on forever, too. Did you notice that? You know, I mean, it rumbled for, 30, 40 seconds. You know, usually you hear a rumble of thunder and it rumbles, and then it goes away. This just kept on rumbling and rumbling and rumbling and rumbling.
It was like, can you please stop?
Yeah, it really was. I don't want to quite say spooky, but it was intense. Absolutely. All right. Well, that's maybe Zach can find out more about it, and if so, he'll share that with us. Coming up next hour, I want to talk about COVID. The COVID numbers in Ohio County for the last week were released yesterday, continuing to rise. It was only a handful of weeks ago, Biff, that we were in the 3-a-day kind of category. Now it's, I think, almost 100 in the past week, and which is almost double what it was 2 weeks ago, over 60% above what it was a week ago. The variants, Delta, Gamma, and Alpha, I didn't know all three of them even were around, are noted in Ohio County. Howard Gamble from the Health Department is going to join us to talk about the numbers, how serious should we take this stuff? What about booster shots? That's another big deal. People are beginning to ask me, and I have no answer. Can I get my booster shot? Because apparently they've authorized the booster shot for certain people, but not for everybody. So can you get a booster shot? Who's going to get it? How's it going to work? We'll see if Howard has some thoughts on that for us. And, of course, we're getting ready for back to school. What can we anticipate the back to school world is going to be like? Or can we, given that things are rising so dramatically, so quickly in West Virginia and around the country, that it's hard to predict. I call your attention to Hoppy Kercheval's commentary from Friday, by the way, at WVMetroNews.com. Hoppy talks about an interview he did with one of the emergency physicians at WVU Medicine, and how this guy is talking about how many people, Biff, who are in serious condition right now because they weren't vaccinated are now saying, man, I wish I had gotten vaccinated. Really good piece that Hoppy wrote last Friday. Check it out at WVMetroNews.com. Check out ABC. They'll talk about the Taliban and Afghanistan. That's next, right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Trapped in Afghanistan.
All right, should be Howard Gamble next, Biffy, if he remembers. I'll text him to remind him. And Bob Nay at 8:40. Flu Hardy at 9:10. If everything goes well. We'll see. It does, exactly right. And I just finished my first cup of coffee, so I'm going to get some more. I'll be back in a minute.